There are many organizations that do not want you to hear this message. The pharmaceutical manufacturers and the tobacco companies and their lobbyists in Washington have billions of reasons to prevent you from learning this. They want to keep you buying cigarettes and pharmaceuticals for the rest of your life. My name is Don Seibert, and I have a message for everyone who wants to stop smoking but is having trouble doing so. I've learned the secret to quitting smoking, and today I'm going to share that secret with you. The biggest misinformation I faced as a smoker wanting to stop, and the biggest misinformation you're probably facing right now, is you're told by Big Pharma and the medical community that smoking is only a chemical problem and that the solution is a medical one. That is simply not true, and I'm about to show you why. We now know that drugs, nicotine patches, and e-cigarettes really don't help. They've been proven to be even less effective than cold turkey, but it's all the medical profession has. Most medical doctors have had no training in addressing smoking issues. Of course, I knew the craving for nicotine was part of the reason I continued to smoke, but I also knew, in addition to my craving for nicotine, I had all sorts of things that would trigger the urge to smoke. The end of a meal, on the phone, a cup of coffee, a glass of wine, or a beer. Those are called physical triggers, and I'm guessing you've got a few pet physical triggers of your own. There's another category of triggers, call them psychological triggers. Stress, anxiety, anger, boredom, and loneliness, just to name a few. The big psychological trigger for me was boredom. Typically, having just stopped cold turkey a week before, I'd be sitting at home watching TV when, out of nowhere, the urge to smoke would grab me, and I'd begin the fatal internal conversation. You know the one that goes, should I or shouldn't I, which generally ends in, oh, what the heck, one puff won't hurt. Of course, you also know what happened next. I had one, and by the end of the week, I was back to 3 packs a day. After trying to quit many times and failing, and finding each time to be painful and humiliating, I simply gave up. I resigned myself to smoking, and to justify my smoking, I created a whole bunch of rationalizations. But when I discovered the smoking secret, I finally understood that my rationalizations were just me defending my smoking habit, and I needed to defend it because I had 3 fears about quitting. My first fear was the fear of failure. I'd failed many times, and I didn't want to fail again. The reason I failed before I learned the secret was I simply didn't know how to quit. I went into quitting without the right tools and techniques. I had a second fear. I was afraid of pain, and quite frankly, were there any pain involved in the smoking secret, I would not be here to tell you about it today. The smoking secret is painless. I like to think of it as quitting warm chicken instead of cold turkey. My biggest fear? I was afraid if I quit smoking, I would have to spend the rest of my life wanting a cigarette. Cigarettes were my best friend. I couldn't imagine one day not wanting to smoke, never mind the rest of my life. But I learned one simple thing. I wasn't born a smoker. Smoking is a very unnatural behavior you must learn. Remember your first cigarette? If you were like me, you probably coughed and gagged, got a bit lightheaded and dizzy, maybe felt a bit nauseous. Did we say, this is crazy, and throw the cigarettes away? No, we hung in. We persevered. We learned how to smoke. If you don't think you had to learn, just ask any non-smoker to open a pack of cigarettes. They're not stupid. They will figure it out. But watch a smoker open a pack. It's like magic. Whoosh! And a cigarette appears between their fingers. You had to learn that. You had to learn how to hold a cigarette, how to inhale and exhale, how to put it out without scorching your fingers, and many more behaviors. The smoking secret identifies more than 100 things you learned and that tie you to smoking, and just as you learned how to smoke, with the smoking secret, you can learn how to quit. So what is this smoking secret? Well, a long time ago, I was fortunate to have learned about it, and I'm here to tell you about it today. It's called Smokenders. and since 1969, it has been successfully teaching smokers how to quit. First, let me tell you what Smokenders is not. It is not a medical program. There are no pills, patches, or potions. We are not experimenting. It's the same course that's been taught for 45 years. It's also not a willpower program. It's a learning experience, and learning does not require willpower. When you learned to drive, did they sit you behind the wheel and say, now exert some willpower? Of course not. They taught you how to drive. And in the same way you learned how to drive, Smokenders will teach you how to quit. Finally, it's not a scare program. We don't talk about some dread disease or show pictures of diseased body parts. Fear of disease may be what motivated you to want to quit, but fear is not going to teach you how to quit. Teaching you how is what Smokenders does. Smokenders is a 7-week online course you take in the privacy of your own home. There's a 45-minute video once a week and daily action steps that take about 10 minutes a day. Smokenders does not see smoking as a nasty little habit. We see it as a complex problem which involves you physically, psychologically, socially, and economically. For the first 4 weeks of the program, you continue to smoke as much as you like while we teach you how to quit. After all, if you already knew how to quit, you would have stopped long ago. In those 4 weeks, you'll learn how to disconnect from all those habits, cravings, linkages, and triggers that tie you to cigarettes. You'll stop smoking the day after the 5th session, not because we say you will, but because you will be ready. You won't climb the walls, you'll be calm, and you will be free. Once you stop, there are 2 additional sessions to assist you in learning a new habit called not smoking. You'll learn techniques like how to cope with stress without smoking, how to avoid the pitfalls that sabotaged your efforts in the past, and best of all, Smokenders is guaranteed. Smokenders was a life-changing event for me, and more than 1 million smokers have had the same life-changing experience. Smokenders worked for me, Smokenders worked for them, and Smokenders can work for you. The benefits that you will derive from not smoking are tremendous. As soon as you stop, your body will quickly adjust, and you will find yourself able to breathe easier, and your energy level will improve. According to the CDC, you will add from 5 to 10 additional years to your life. The financial impact is substantial. Plus, I found that overcoming this major obstacle was a real psychological turning point for me, and my newfound self-esteem really changed my life forever. By now you're probably wondering, what does this thing cost? First, let's look at the cost of smoking. The average cost of a pack of cigarettes in the U.S. today is $7.03. Over 365 days, that means that a pack-a-day smoker will spend more than $2,500 per year. What kind of vacation could your family take next year on $2,500? Or how about that new car? Now, what does Smokenders cost? Your investment in your future is just $147, less than 6% of what it would cost to smoke a pack a day for a year. That's a huge savings. For a pack-a-day smoker, the cost of the course is recovered before you graduate. What a tremendous return on your investment, 1,300%. Where else can you get your life extended by up to 10 years, lots of extra money in your pocket, improved health, and increased self-esteem for such a minimal investment? This is a no-brainer. It will never cost you less to quit permanently than it will today. You owe it to yourself and to your family. And remember, it doesn't matter how much you smoke, how long you have smoked, or how many times you have tried to quit. This time, with Smokenders' help, you can stop. This is your time. Act now. Just click below to get started. I'll see you on the other side.